strengthen the values of the home in the heart of the children. And that's where I believe this verse could be understood. Where the Bible says a threefold cord is not quickly broken. When the home and when the church and when the school are all working together with the same purpose, we want to raise these young people up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. It's a beautiful picture of God's amazing order. And so I pray that you come this morning, and as you enroll your children into our school for the first time, or for some, for the 13th time, they've been here since K4, I pray that you have a conviction about your children receiving a Christian education. That this would either be a home, whether this is at home. There are some families in our church that homeschool, and by the way, we support them 100%. And our school is open to them to help them. Some are enrolled in our music programs or athletics programs. I graduated in 1997 from Abeka Christian Academy. Now, we use a Abeka curriculum here, but if you were to homeschool, they have a curriculum for those, and that's what I graduated from through the homeschool program. Now I administrate a traditional Christian school, and I know this. Many people will criticize them for various reasons, but if you have a good one, and I hope we do here, thank God for it. There'll be problems that will arise through the year. There may be situations you need to sit down with the teacher or the administration, and we'll do our best to resolve it right. But I can tell you this, I want to be part of the solution. I want to see our school continue and have many more years ahead. And I think together our prayer and desire is to team with you and to give your children the best education that we can. And so thank you. Thank you for the sacrifice that you make to put your children in our school. We are second generation. We have many students whose parents graduated from our school, and we're excited about that. If you have not gotten one yet, we're going to get into the fun information and then give you instruction on the rest of the morning. Make sure that you have first this form. Does anybody need the update form? We can get one to you. Raise your hand if you would. I think everybody's got one. Good. Does anybody need a map to get around? Okay. Then if you open it to the center section, I shouldn't say center, the right section, I want to introduce to you our staff. We have we praise the Lord for 7 new students and families in our school this year, and we'd like you to know who our staff is. You already met Pastor Tebow, and he's our head administrator. He provides pastoral oversight, and if needed, at times he'll sit down and do parental involvement and try to make sure if there's a disagreement between the teacher and the parent that we can get it fixed. My name's Brian Currier. I'm the principal. I oversee our staff daily. I get to take care of all the operations and scheduling and things like that. And then I teach Bible in our upper grades. I'll do chapel for all the kids, and then I get to teach 12th grade business math. So I enjoy doing all that and being involved in our school. Over here, Mr. John Kincaid, if you'd stand, he's our assistant principal, and he's the favorite. He gets to oversee discipline. That's right. It's like sending him to Grandpa. He's very nice to him. He also this year is going to be our athletic director as well as our basketball varsity head coach. He oversees our concessions, and in a little while we'll talk about that. He's going to come up and share with you some needs that we have. Miss Freeman. Now everybody, most everybody knows Miss Freeman. She's unable to be here this morning. Last year she had some finger surgery done, and through the year I think she ended up having to have surgery on it a couple more times, and she had to again this summer. And there was a little bit that needed finalized to stop some infection. So Thursday they got her in. And so she's at home. She's watching this morning, but she's unable to be here. You'll get to meet Miss Freeman. She's been a part of our school for several decades. And she's one of the rocks that we go to for guidance and help. She is also our academic dean. And so she helps us in the classroom as teachers. She oversees our GradeLink program where you can see your kids' grades online and things. So, but she also teaches in our 7th through 12th grade, the English and math classes, and we love Miss Freeman. And then, as everybody knew, at the end of the school year, Pastor Mitchell moved to Florida, and he's becoming the head pastor at a church down there. And we're excited for him and his family. We miss them in our school. What we have done is, in the finance office, we have replaced him with 2 part-time secretaries that'll work different times and days. First, right back here, Mrs. Jennifer Grob. And so you'll get to meet her today. And she also works in our school office in the afternoons on Mondays and Fridays, so most of you already know Mrs. Grob. And then over here is Mrs. Teresa Gardner, and she'll also be in the office. So if you have financial questions, you'll be able to sit down with them, and they can help you with that. This morning, when we dismiss, everybody needs to stop by the finance office and just make sure that your account is set up and ready to go. To help expedite things, make them a little faster, we're going to use 2 offices. So the one right here on the corner where Brother Mitchell was, that's going to be for all the students' last names that are A through H. And then if you're J through Z, you'll be in the school office just on the other side of the foyer there. And they'll be able to help you get your accounts all set up and make sure that you know the amount and the monthly payment and things like that. And they'll be happy to help you, and we're thankful for them. That is a large thing when you have several ministries going on to learn, so we appreciate them. Our teaching staff, let's see, in the back is Miss Cindy Brent, and she can't stand up. She had reconstructive foot surgery a few weeks ago, and so she's in a cast and can't put weight on that, but she'll be out of that hopefully in a few weeks. And she teaches our K4 and K5. And then Mrs. Anderson, Mrs. Debbie Anderson, is our 1st and 2nd grade teacher, and returning many years now, 7, 8 years, 6 years. Okay, thank you, Mrs. Anderson. And then Mrs. Candy Coyle, right back here, is our 3rd and 4th grade teacher. Mrs. Gina Kincaid is our 5th and 6th grade teacher, but she also is going to oversee our entire music program. So she'll also be doing beginner band, our upper grade symphony, and our 7th through 12th grade choir. And so we're thankful for that. When we get them, and I was going to share this in a minute, but we're here, our brass bells that we've enjoyed, they are getting to be a little old and have some wear and tear, so they're being shipped out back to the manufacturer. They break them down completely. Every little part, they take them all apart, and they're going to refurbish them and send them back to us. So we won't have them till the middle of October. But once we get those back, we're excited to continue teaching the kids in our fine arts program those handbells, and she'll teach that also. And then our other, of course, Mr. Kincaid also teaches in our 7th through 12th grade. He teaches science classes and some of the electives. And then Mr. Andrew Ramirez is in the very back over here. He oversees our computer classes. He'll do all of those this year, as well as the high school speech and history classes. And then he's our PE teacher. He gets to have fun. So we're excited for them. And then our last teacher is Mrs. Ramirez. She teaches Spanish to our 10th grade class. And then she's also our morning secretary. And so when you come in the morning, if you have questions or call in, she's the one that you'll talk to the most. And to be honest with you, she has the answers to all of your questions about forms and all the requirements that we offer to the state. She's the one who knows all of that, so you can talk to her. Some of the blessings this summer is, like we say, the handbells are being all refurbished, and that's a big task. We're thankful the Lord provided for that. Our playground has been completely refreshed. We've got new mulch out there, all through there. We had the asphalt resealed. And we're going to ask that nobody go out on to that today, to the playground, because we're still working on it. One of our deacons is out there this morning trying to beat the heat. We're restriping everything. So we're putting out the 4-square court. We're going to have a couple hopscotch. Some of the kids said, we want hopscotch. So we're going to be able to do that and get the basketball lines all drawn out. So hopefully that'll be ready to go the first week of school. But that's something that the Lord provided us to do. And then in 2 weeks, we're going to have our gym floor completely refinished. They'll come in, sand it down, and we'll have a nice brand new coat on that. And so that'll be over a Friday through Sunday, so it won't hinder us much. And we're just thankful how the Lord continues to provide us to take care of our facilities and to provide as best an experience as we can. Some of the important information about the school year is just a reminder, our school hours are 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's very, very important that your students be to school on time. And there are things about unexcused tardies that add up, and then it becomes a discipline issue. And we hate for kids to receive a lot of demerits and even detentions just simply because of unexcused tardies. So we ask to do your very best. Prepare the night before, have their bags ready, work on lunches. I know there'll be emergencies and things, and we excuse those kind of things if there's a traffic accident and you can't make it, or if the weather comes in and it dumps, a few inches of snow and it's hard. We have some that live 5 miles away, but some that live 30 miles away. And so we don't ever hold that against the student's record if it's an unavoidable emergency. But do your very best. And then at 3 p.m., we have our pickup line from 3 to 3:10. And then after that, we provide an aftercare where you can come and pick up your students. All that information is explained in the gym on a form. And if you ever have any questions, ask one of the staff or ask the office, and we can help guide you and help you to understand how we do our pickup. But when you come to drop off the kids, there's a lot of traffic and a lot of movement going out in a parking lot. And so especially student drivers, we'll remind them this on their first day. When you come into the parking lot, and especially approaching the front door, please don't just park right in front and come in and do business. If you need to come in and talk to the secretary and things, if you would park and then come in, that'll allow cars and families just to drive to the front door and drop off their students. And we don't have a lot of students walking across through all the traffic. We just want to try to provide as safe environment as we're able to. On the first day of school, we do allow and encourage, especially the younger students, for the parents to come in, help get them to the classroom, get them settled in. And from 8 to 8:30, you're allowed to go into the classroom and just be there. But at 8:30, that first Wednesday, we do ask that the parents say goodbye, and that way we can get started. We have student orientation and a lot of things to go over that first day with them and getting them settled. So from 8 to 8:30, you're welcome to come and help your child get settled into the class. When you walked in, you notice we do have a digital thermometer there right outside the doors. There's a little step stool to help the kids get up there. We do that just as a precaution. We try to stop any kind of influenza or any kind of sickness. So if a student has a temperature of 100.4 or higher, that thermostat will go red and give a little alarm and let the secretary know they have a fever. Now, on a hot day, they might have just come in and maybe they were running and they're a little hot. We give them a few minutes to cool down if needed and check it again. But please don't send a child to school if they're sick. Schools are just incubators for these diseases and spreading illness. And I know sometimes it could be an inconvenience to a parent. Don't just give them a bunch of ibuprofen and hope their fever goes down so they can get through the door. We just want to protect everybody. We want everybody to not be able to miss their classes. We do provide opportunity for them to make up those classes. They can even watch those classes online if they miss several days. But do your very best. But we do ask the students every time that they come in to take their temperature, make sure that they're within the right range there. And if they are sick, we do ask that they not return to school until they've been free of a fever for 24 hours without medication. So that usually will tell us they're okay, they're past that contagious stage. Please make sure your student gets a healthy start to the day. And that's by planning ahead the night before, help them to get the appropriate amount of sleep that they need, and give them something for breakfast. And Mrs. Ramirez will tell you the most kids will come, my stomach hurts, and the good majority of the time is they just didn't eat. They got too rushed and they ran out the door, and so try to help them get a good start to the day. In reference to excused and unexcused absences, just some reminders. Students don't have personal days. We just can't allow that for the sake of our obligation to make sure students are in school the required amount of days that the state requires. We just don't have personal days, but we do allow for family days. It's a prearranged day where you can say, hey, we're going to go on vacation or we're going to take an extended weekend. There's procedures for how to do that. Let us know well ahead of time. Talk to the secretary or myself, and we'll make sure to put them on the schedule that they have an approved family time. But just to call in and say, hey, we're going to go shopping or we're just going to take the day off, we can't allow that as an excused absence. They can always take the day and just be unexcused. But just make sure if it's a vacation time, it's a family time, that you get it prearranged. When any student returns from any absence, they need to come in and fill out an orange excuse for absence form. We have to keep that with our records. If the state ever, for truancy's sake, wants to review a student's attendance record, and we do have this happen from time to time, we need to be able to have written explanation as to they were at a doctor's office, they had a family vacation. That way we can have that accurate record keeping. So those are available at the front window or in the front office. Our secretaries even go above and beyond, and they'll even try to send them home if a parent hasn't requested it. Please fill those out and return them as soon as possible, because any absence is considered unexcused until we have that form that tells us the reason, and then we can excuse that. When a student is absent and homework has been requested, we ask that the student have that homework completed when they return to school. If you know you have a time that you're going to be off, you're going to take a week vacation, if you will contact and let us know, we can get the students' work and they can work ahead. If they're going to be gone for a week, when they return, they have to do all the work that they have normally for school, plus they're given a week then to get all their homework made up and quizzes and tests. So just so you are reminded, that's available to get a head start, or maybe if you got a long drive, one way to keep the kids busy is have them do a little bit of homework in the car. So that's available, but we do need to know in advance so we can get the homework ready and prepared. In regards to tardies, there is what's called tardy to school and tardy to class. A student is tardy to school if they come through the front doors after the 8 a.m. bell. But students can also be considered tardy to class when they show up, and this is more for the older students, when they show up late to class between the different class periods. Teachers keep track of all of that, and on the third tardy, after the third tardy, they will be given 3 demerits, and the handbook will tell you how those add up very quickly. That is probably, Mr. Kincaid could tell you, is probably the number one discipline issue we have, is just unexcused tardy. So try to encourage your student, be where you're supposed to be on time. We have a bell system that reminds them, even gives them a 1-minute warning. And that gives them enough time to, wherever they're doing, between their lockers, getting a drink, get into class on time. Outside classes, we do allow a period for our 11th and 12th graders to begin online college courses if they would like. Now, this is at, obviously, their work and expense. Our teachers can't oversee the program. But a lot of colleges offer these Head Start classes. We don't do truly dual enrollment where our classes count towards, our high school classes don't count towards college credit. But above and beyond that, we do have a period where those students can do that. We only ask this, is that all courses get approved by myself beforehand. There are some secular courses we just don't want in the Christian school. But if they want to get a head start and that's something you desire for your student, it is a great advantage. The courses are they're less expensive, and it kind of gets their foot in the door and gives them some experience there. But we don't allow anything else, driver's ed, behind the wheel, or any other college classes to leave the property, go do a class and back during school hours. Those would be counted as unexcused tardies or absences. So try to get everything, especially driver's ed. I know scheduling is very difficult. Try to work that out outside of the hours. In the evening, behind the wheel, you can do those on the weekend. Sometimes my kid just turned 16 and we have to make an appointment to get their license and we want them to have it that day. There are facilities that we know of. You don't have to have an appointment. You can walk in, and you can get that. So that's one of the areas where kids miss a lot of school, and we don't want that to penalize them also. So if you have questions about driver's ed especially, see myself and I can explain our policy. You will receive down in the gym grade link login and password information. We have that ready for you today. Mrs. Ramirez has it at her table, so as you go through the line and get all the sheets and information and fill them out, when you're done and turn it in, she'll give you that. Grade Link is what we use for you to keep track of your students' grades online. It's online, or they also have an app that you can download. Just put in your student's ID and username. You can keep track of their grades. Sometimes teachers get ahead, and you can see upcoming tests and quizzes, as well as discipline. So when the demerits are put into the system, you can even have it notify you that your student had something on their record today, and then you can kind of have a heads up of what's coming home. But it's a great way for you to keep up with your students' grades. If you notice that your student's a little bit behind in something, you're concerned, we ask you to reach out. Reach out to myself or Ms. Freeman or the teacher, and we will try to see what we can do to help get your student caught back up where they need to be. But it is, if a student's really struggling, we'll contact the parent. Sometimes it's just getting into the groove of things. Maybe it's just at the beginning of a quarter, it's a bad quiz, really looks and affects, until they have a few good ones to help balance that out. So I encourage, please go to GradeLink and keep up to date on your students' grades. We do offer extended care and aftercare. Before care begins at 6:30 in the morning. Miss Cindy Brenton is our before care. She opens the building at that time, and bring your students into assembly room number 1. That's where our before and after care is held, as well as our lunchroom. So if you look at your map, you'll see that there, assembly 1. Go ahead and bring them in or drop them off and make sure they get there. And then at 7:45, the older students will be allowed to go to their lockers and get ready for the classes. And then at 7:50, the elementary teachers will come and get their students. And so if they come anytime before that, 7:45, 7:50, they'll go to the before care room. So that is available starting at 6:30 for those who need to drop off their students. And then afterwards, it's available up until 5:30. And Mrs. Gina Rodke over here is our aftercare supervisor. As soon as the last student goes home, she gets to go home. And she appreciates, if you're able to get the students. Now, as we head into athletics, volleyball practices have already begun, and our first game is coming up on Monday the 25th. If a younger student has an older sibling that's in athletics and needs to stay in aftercare, they're not charged aftercare cost while they're waiting, because we don't want the parents to have to pick them up at 3 and then come back at 5 to pick up the other students. But if they're not in athletics for that reason, there is a cost each day, and the handbook, I think, explains all of that, or the finance office can explain all that to you. For security, we have done our best to make this building as safe and secure as possible. When you do a walkthrough interview, Pastor talks about what we've done on the windows and the doors to try to resist any kind of a break-in. We have, I believe, 32 security cameras, 4K high-definition recording, just visual. We don't record audio. But we also have our doors locked during the day, and only people that we know and are approved can come into the building during school hours. If you need to come in to see a student, you'll be asked to sign in. You'll be given a visitor's badge. That's just what we do for everybody, so that the staff and the students know. We may not know all the parents yet. We're not singling anybody out. It's just a procedure. If you're not on staff here or part of the regular church or school program, we have you sign in and sign out so we know who's here. For dismissal, this year we have a green dismissal card. These are also available down in the gym. It has your student's last name in big bold letters right here, And for each family, we have 2 of them ready for you. If you need more, Mrs. Ramirez will write your name down and how many more cards, and we'll have those available the first day for you to pick up. But only give these to those that you approve to pick up your child. And what you'll do is when you come to the pickup line, and there's instructions down in the gym also on that, how to pick up your child. I'll be out there as well as one of our teachers the first day helping everybody to see visually. This is how we start lining up, and this is how we dismiss. But make sure that this is in the front windshield of your car. And as the staff walks by, they write down the name, we call it in to the gym, and they'll have your students ready. And what we do is we have 5 cars pull up to the gym at a time. Then we let all the students, for those families out, they load up, they move out of the way, and then we bring the next 5 cars in. And we'll do that from 3 to 3:10. But do make sure you have this available. If it's not in the windshield, you have to go to the front office, you have to get one. And again, our staff doesn't know all the grandparents. We don't know who's approved to pick up. And there are times there might be a family situation where one part of the family's not able to. And so we try to protect the children the best we can through this process. So you'll get these down in the gym also. Make sure on your form, one of the first forms, let me grab this. It is the statement of permission and emergency contact form and authorization to pick up a student. Make sure to put all the people down that you authorize to be able to pick up your student. Whether it's a grandparent, whether it's a child. I have 2 adult children, and I put their names down because from time to time I might need them to come pick them up if they want to get out of here earlier. And so make sure everybody that's 18 and older that's authorized to pick them up is on that list. We do offer hot lunch for the students down in the gym. There's a calendar. On one side is August, and on the other side is September. Make sure to grab one of those. What we do is we provide a meal, one singular meal each day. Usually has an entree, a side, a little dessert. With that, also comes with a milk or chocolate milk. But we only offer the 1 meal a day. So when your student comes in and checks in the morning, they'll tell the teacher yes or no if they're having hot lunch, and they'll mark them down. You do need to purchase ahead of time a lunch card. Those hot meal lunches are $6 a day, so you'll purchase a card that has 10 punches on it. If by chance the card runs out or you forgot, then they can write it down and they'll remind you, and when you take care of purchasing a card, they'll go ahead and take that one off. We keep good track of that. If you have any left over from last year, they'll be available down in the gym. You can kind of check, do I already have a card? And or you can purchase new cards. We also sell milk cards. Those are 75 cents a carton, white or chocolate milk, and those come in a punch card of 10 also. So we encourage you to try to get those purchased today or by the first day. And if your student doesn't want to participate in the hot lunch program, please be sure to send them with a lunch then. We are not able to provide refrigeration for everybody, so make sure that your lunch boxes are able to take an ice pack or something like that. We can't warm up foods for students. We just don't have the facility, the staff, and the ability to do that. On rare occasion, we will have an exception to that if it's dietary need. We have some kids with allergies, and there's only certain things they can eat. We give them a special pass that allows them to do that, but we've not had to do that for a couple years. So again, we offer that hot lunch if you're able to. We also have a snack table. It's got candy bars and chips on there. They're between 75 cents and $1, and they'll just make sure they have cash. We have a cash box and a volunteer that watches and can help them with that daily if you want them to have a little extra. In terms of that lunchroom, we rely on volunteers to help us man that. Lunch is often our teachers' opportunity to have about a 30-minute break themselves, and we like them to be able to enjoy their lunchtime and not have to oversee the students. If you're willing and able to come in, we have 2 lunch periods. One begins, I believe, at about 11:30, and they go until, do you know what time, Miss Brenton? Until a little after 12:30? So about an hour. If you're able to help any day, say I can help on Mondays, or I can be a sub and fill in if needed, if you'll let Miss Cindy Brenton, she oversees that scheduling for us, we would really appreciate that. It's a great opportunity. Just help set up the snacks, sell the snacks, and put them away when they're done. We're always looking for volunteers for that. I mentioned athletics earlier, and volleyball practice has started unofficially, but the first official practice will be on Thursday. Volleyball practice is after school from 3:15 until 5 o'clock. So the girls need to be sure that they bring appropriate clothing for that, for practice, and they've all done very well this summer. One of the most important things, though, is before they can practice, they have to have an up-to-date school sports physical. A school physical counts, so if a student, it's one of the years they're required to turn in an updated physical, that will count towards it. They don't have to have a separate sports physical. But every year a student has to update that. Mrs. Ramirez has a list down in the gym. If you'd like to see when your student's past physical expires, they give it to you for 13 months because some insurances only allow you to do one physical a year. And so they do allow you 13 months. We have that. Some are expired. Some don't have them. They need to have them by Thursday in order to practice, okay? And be reminded, our first game is a home game on Monday, the 25th, and we want all the girls to be able to play and be there. So be sure to check and see. Some have already gotten their new ones. If you have it today, go through the registration line and turn that into Mrs. Ramirez, and that'll be cared for. All right, we're almost done. We're almost done. We do have our casual days. Our junior and senior class is been preparing since last year to go on their junior-senior class trip. That'll take place the middle of April. We leave a few days before spring break, and all through that, we go out east from Gettysburg to New York City down to Washington, D.C., and we spend about between 8 to 10 days touring all the famous sites and having a lot of fun. But through the year, we have some fundraisers for them to raise this money outside of the school. There's one thing called casual days, and one day a month that's already selected. There's a form that'll tell you those days. For $2, the kids can wear approved casual day clothing. Our handbook and that form explains what's acceptable, what they can wear. But that money goes towards that trip. If you'd like to just pay for the whole year, $20 a head, that's fine. They'll write it down and we'll mark that. And it's just a fun thing. Students aren't required to participate on those casual days. They can just wear regular school dress if they want to. Nobody makes fun of them. It's just an opportunity for the student to have a relaxed casual day, and it does help our junior-senior class. We do provide some coolers with some bottled drinks. We have water, some sodas, Snapple, Frappuccinos. Those are anywhere between $1 and $2. So if you don't mind your student having a Mountain Dew during school, we do allow those to come into the building, but it has to be purchased through that in order to be in the classroom. We have candygrams around Valentine's Day. We'll have pancake and sausage breakfast, a spaghetti luncheon, and then we have senior night, and the week before we do our cutest baby picture. These are all just little fundraisers, but then when we get towards the end of the year, first of the new year, we'll be starting selling door-to-door discount cards, and that's our biggest way to raise the needed funds. We need about $30,000 to $35,000 to take a trip of this magnitude with these amount of students and chaperones. So they're going to be working hard, so juniors and seniors, keep that in mind. We need to do our best this year. And they already started last year. They already got a few $1,000s saved towards the trip. So those are ways you can help. For the school, coming up in September, we have our annual golf classic. And we'll have information out soon to you about that, on how you can participate as a sponsor or as a participant. And we always have a lot of fun with that. Probably our biggest fundraiser we started last year is the CAT Foundation Matching Program. If you're a Caterpillar employee, or if you have a relative or anybody you know, they can give up to $10,000 a year, and Caterpillar will match that if they go through that program. and that has brought in a lot of extra monies to our school. It's been a huge blessing. So just keep that in mind. And there may be some others. I know we've done pie sales and candle sales. As we're going through our transition, we're taking one thing at a time. So those are our known fundraisers, and if we are able to do the others, we'll let you know. Now we're going to move forward into what's next. In that brochure, there is a schedule when you open it up on the left page there. When we dismiss here, at 10 o'clock down in room 114, which is the kindergarten classroom, we're going to begin our individual class meetings. They're going to last about 15 to 18 minutes each. They won't go longer because the teachers need to dismiss you, especially if you have multiple students and maybe you need to get to the next class. Please watch the time. They'll be watching the time, but every 20 minutes we'll start the next meeting. So the first one will start at 10, and then first and second grade will be 10:20. Third and fourth will be 10:40. Fifth and sixth will be 11 o'clock. The last meeting for all the 7th through 12th will be in here at 11:20. I'll uncover the back tables. Back there are all the individual class information sheets as well as their schedule. It's very important, and there's a reminder, these papers are for parent information first and foremost. All the students will get all this information their first day of school, but this is an introduction to all the parents, what classes, the schedule that your students will have this year in 7th through 12th. So don't pick up the extra papers if you don't need them. Leave them for those in those classes. And so while you are waiting on your class meeting, what we'll ask everybody else to do is to head towards the gym. Down in the gym, there's a lawn table set up. The very first thing is an orientation checklist. Just walk down there, and the way that it is on the form, all the paperwork and handbooks, everything's in order. Not everybody needs every paper. Some of them you'll see is like applied music. That is only 5th through 12th grade. It states it on the form. Just kind of read the explanation. It tells you what you need to do. Some are two-sided. Some require parental signatures. The violent threat policy requires the student's signature also. Some of them you need one for every student, but some of them you can put all of them on one sheet. So I know it's a little tedious. It'll take a little bit of time. I took mine home last night and filled them out, and it probably took 10 minutes, and I had all the paperwork filled out. So if you would do that, also down in the gym, at the end of the table, there are 4 brand new orange and blue backpacks. These are free and available. Someone donated these. If you need a nice backpack, just grab one. Those are down there. If you have a student in PE, 7th through 10th grade, before ordering their shirt size and their pant size for the boys, the girls have all been measured and those have already been ordered for their culottes. Make sure to try on the sample sizes. Once they're ordered, it's very difficult to try to reorder. The shirts are custom made, so we need to have the right size. So their sample sizes, they're green shirts and some sweatpants. Try them on before marking them down. All the students get a free activity shirt, and we'll wear these on field trip days and different spirit days. Make sure even the little ones try on a shirt. They go all the way down to youth extra small. So just try on the shirt, make sure you get the right size. And then we have some racks that have dresses or jumpers for the younger girls, some skirts, and some button-up shirts for the older girls. And then there's even a little rack with some of the polo shirts for the elementary girls. Some of them are marked. A family dropped it off, say, hey, we'd like $10 for this. Those are marked on there. If there's not a paper, and majority of them are unmarked, we just ask what it is. They donated it to the school. You can buy that for $5, any item off of those racks. Some are very brand new. The little polo shirts of the girls, those are just $1 today. So if you need uniforms, be sure to stop by and look at those. There's some tables. You can sit down. You can fill out the paperwork. Again, just watch the time so you don't miss your class meeting. You can always come back. And then there's a table set up where Mrs. Ramirez will be at. She's able to accept where you can buy lunch cards. You can pay for everything but tuition there. You'll take care of those kind of things in the finance office. We could take cash check, and we do have the ability to take a card. So if there's anything you want to purchase today, casual days, lunch cards, Mrs. Ramirez will do that. She'll collect all your paperwork, and then if you have any dental, vision, immunizations, or physicals, you can turn them in today also there. Otherwise, when you come in on Wednesday, you can drop them off at the front office, and we'll get that all cared for. We are done with this meeting, so we're going to dismiss you. We'll start in 10 minutes with our kindergarten meeting in 114. Also, the very last thing it says is make sure you stop by the finance office. So just a reminder, right outside these doors, you'll see on the side it says family. It's the student's last name. If it's A through H, you'll go to this office here. If it's J through Z, you'll go to the regular school office on the other side of the foyer. And be sure to stop in and make sure your financial arrangements are done. Thank you, and have a great day. We'll see the kids on Wednesday.